Men's semifinal action coming up next here on Championship Court. J.W. Johnson. This is a deep cut. 64 APP medals since 2020. That is the most of any player. We got to shout out our producer, Hank Greening, for going down and finding that one.
About time.
It's in the vault. Yeah, no.
About time he did.
He sits back there and talks to us the whole time, but he finally did something back there.
I mean, you don't get to be a 64-time medal winner without playing some really quality pickleball. Oh, and by his way, his partner.
Now he's just
showing off.
Now he's just showing off.
Now he's just showing off.
It's like half of his partner, JW. These two, between Frazier and Johnson, two of the fastest hands. Actually, four. Once again, the counting. Four of the fastest hands you will see on tour.
Well, both of them typically, when we are talking about fast hands, it's a one-handed backhand and the forehand. So I'll give you the fastest hands of two.
Okay, I'll take it. We all know counting is not my strong suit.
But yes, I mean, JW and Frazier, staples on the APP Tour since the beginning in 2020. Good to see them here in Miami. Dylan Frazier already through to the mixed doubles final.
Talking
on the other side of the net. Maybe a surprise here. And again, that's going to be the theme of this tournament as a whole as we take a look at Jason Bock in the white top, black hat. 4 career APP medals. Some work to do to catch up to JW at 64. He is playing alongside Spencer Lanier. Lanier also playing as part of the Atlantic Cup that has been going on here in Miami. 2 APP silvers last year on tour. Chad, you know Spencer pretty well. What should we expect to see from Lanier playing alongside Bock?
Well, I mean, obviously you can see his height and the reach advantage. He does have fast hands as well. He's not one to speed up. He's a counter puncher. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see with Johnson and Frazier. Typically, they're counter punchers as well, with the exception of Johnson's reach in flick. But if they try and attack anything into the body of Spencer Lanier, he has that quick backhand flick that really takes you by surprise. And then Jason Bock, you know, he's got surprising power.
And you hitting it right on the head, Chad. You're looking at me, and I'm like, of all the players on the court, Jason's probably the shortest in stature, but we talk about
he hits the hardest ball.
He probably hits the hardest out of all 4 of them, and he's gonna pick up the pace. And you'd think it'd be Spencer Lanier because of his height, but Spencer, like you said, Chad, is more of a counter puncher and will play a little softer. Look for Jason Bock to be the aggressor of the 2 of them.
Yeah, Bock's going to be the setup guy on that side. For Johnson and Frazier, look for Johnson's reach-in flick on the backhand side. One thing that he does so well is he's fully extended, quick flick, and you'll see that backhand flick and go straight to forehand. Frazier, short, compact swings. We saw that in mixed doubles. The reason why these guys have fast hands is because there's not much of a take back. It's very short, very compact, very controlled. So I'll be looking for some good fast hand exchanges in this one.
Johnson took home a silver medal as a service error to start us off. A silver medal in Sacramento alongside Will Howells.
0-0-1.
And already a backhand flick from Johnson. Whack.
Yeah, it's so short and it's so quick, but he also picks the spots extremely well.
Just wide, side out.
2 for 2.
I mean, he flicked that first one. It came back faster, and he was like, so what?
In watching Johnson play, always so relaxed in his demeanor. He never looks tight. Bock speed up winner just inside the line.
Yeah, nice little speed up right there. And he had a couple options. That was the issue right there. And I think Frazier was leaning maybe a little more line, and then he goes middle.
Just a little too much. I think he thought about speeding that one up down the line there for a second and then decided to go back cross court, tried to sell it with the body. And go.
If
Really
that
coming our way.
If
Yep.
that TV monitor wasn't there, I think they had the angle. It'd have been all you, Corey.
Listen, I got third baseman hands over here.
Yeah, but you got an iPad in your hand right there. I would have dove in front. Just saying.
Don't believe
Oh,
that
not a chance. No.
All right, so someone at some point, we need to get a ball into the booth to see who has the best hands of the hands team up here.
That's me, the middle infielder.
There's stuff going to be flying everywhere. But Lanier does a good job there of reaching in, taking that early. That allows him to create the angle on the overhead.
Nice.
Frazier all over it.
Yeah, great job staying out in front. And
He's just painting. He's painting walls right there.
The camera needs to be on Chad more
He really
often.
hit me with that
Just
one.
smacking balls right out in front. Just paddle out in front.
So I say he's just painting the wall.
Lanier
Backhand,
nearly
forehand.
got there. For Johnson, little thank you very much off of the net court side out.
1-1-1.
Just deep, going for the right shoulder of Lanier. You saw Lanier try to jump across there too. He almost jumped into the ball.
It's a lot of body to get out of the way if you're Spencer
I'll tell you
Lanier.
what, I'm not short, but when I'm standing next to Spencer Lanier, I feel like a dwarf.
Yeah, he's so tall and lanky.
Got a couple of those guys on tour. You got Lanier, Eric Lang as well. Andre Diascu, of course, maybe the most well-known in terms of those tall, lanky pickleball players as Lanier puts it into the net.
See, that's a tough ball there for Bock. He's driving the ball with 1 foot behind the baseline. That's not going to get anything done against Johnson and Frazier. If he's going to step into one, it's got to be in the transition area to speed up.
Nice placement there from Johnson to earn the side out.
What I want you to watch from Johnson, Frazier, Lanier, watch when a ball is going over the net. They all start with the paddle extended out in front. And then if they're going to let it drop, they come back down with it. That way they're not taking big backswings when they want to speed a ball up.
Good read there from Lanier on the speed up from Johnson. It was from a tough position, so Lanier able to get on top of that.
1-1-2.
That's the key right there, recognizing the speed up and getting on top of it.
Bock can't get the backhand, of point for Johnson and Frazier.
2-1-2.
Breaks a battle of attrition. Are you kidding with the hands?
There's a couple slap forehands in there that should have been winners.
A firefight of the highest order.
1-2-1.
Just like hearing the sound of that one. That's pickleball right there.
Oh, high sitting ball, and Bock, his eyes got so big.
Yep, the sitter for Bock, and he just tries to do too much with it.
I understand the sentiment all too well. Nice backhand. Side out coming. It's just so fast off the paddle. The body is so relaxed, and then all of a sudden, through contact, it's on you before you know it.
You have to trust the hands. If you try to do too much with the body, you're going to jam yourself up. Ultimately, is what's going to happen. Did you see Jason Bock's paddle right
in the middle? Yeah.
But I don't know what
was
ball
he
he's
gonna
going
block?
to hit right there. That ball he's going to hit the one that's going 6 feet out.
In the middle of the point, Jason Bock stepped to the middle, put his hand up above his head. Typically, you'll see players step to the middle or step to a spot and put that paddle about shoulder height, ready for a speed up. Bock was way over his head. I don't know what he was looking at.
Oh, it's not like Johnson and Frazier lob very often either.
No.
He did it again,
Yeah.
right there.
Is that a new version of shadow swing?
Well, he's looking for the scorpion to come down on it, I guess, but.
Receivers, 4-1-2, 1 minute.
Bock and Lanier taking a timeout as they find themselves trailing by 3 here early on in game number 1. This one has been tightly contested so far, but let's take another look at our Gamma Live to Play rally of the match. This one was definitely a firefight. It was on.
Just listen.
That's right, he won.
Right there. That, like Chad said it, that's pickleball right there. That's the sound of pickleball. And especially at this highest level of these guys with their hands, it's ridiculous. That's why you get that difference of from women's doubles to men's doubles. And we'll see the difference because we'll have a few men's matches today and a few women's matches. What happens is the men typically will not get into those firefights very often because the hands are so quick and good and powerful. The ladies, not saying that they're not powerful because they are, but the ladies will tend to tee off on each other a little bit more. Taking a step off that kitchen line, you'll see more of those firefights, but that was a good one on the men's side right there.
En route to the semifinals, Johnson and Frazier took down Patrick Kafka, part of that duo that surprised everyone in Sacramento, and Augusta Ska 4 in 5. Needed 3 games, though, to get past Gregory Dow and Anderson Scarpa. They dropped the first 6-11. Nice pressure there from Lanier. Bock finally got the scorpion he was looking for.
No, the defense there from Frazier and Johnson, getting balls back off of 3-4 overheads, and then just staying nice and calm, getting it back down into the kitchen, getting themselves into position. I was asked the question the other day of what's going to become the better attribute, defense or power, as the game moves forward. You need both. It has to be balanced. It used to be a defensive game, and then we had a slight run on the offensive power. But now you have to be proficient in both.
Goes long, is side out.
As soon as you were saying that, I was in my head going, it's got to be both.
Yeah.
Because, again, because the game has changed so much. When we came into the game, Chad, 10, 12 years ago, it was all defense.
Another
Now,
point for Lanier and Bock.
you get that offensive mindset, but it can be deterred by good defense.
Yeah.
What contributed to the rise of power?
Paddles.
Paddle technology.
The new paddles with the power and the spin. I mean, honestly, we weren't playing with the wooden paddles. However, some people were still
I played
playing,
with those.
People
with them.
think that
I
you and
played
I have
with
been in
the
the
wooden
game so long.
paddles
Yeah.
in intermediate high school.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know what that
that's
says about my age, but
2013, 14, 15, when we started, it wasn't much of an upgrade from the wooden paddle as far as a Nomex core or the first honeycomb polymer cores. The surface didn't allow for any grit, any texture. It was typically a 2 or 3 layer core. Now we're looking at 4, 5, 6 layers, which adds a little bit more power, adds some deadening. We have texture, we have weight balance.
Oh, my goodness.
Lanier able to get to it. Well, Frazier in the middle of the court there.
The hands, the reset here from Frazier. That ball just dots
right
the
on
line.
the line. Going back to the paddles, the first company to use a Nomex or a honeycomb core was ProLite with Arlen Ferrante. And it was a fire retardant material that Boeing uses on their airlines because it's lightweight and they can do the interiors in it. So there's large sheets of it. So now you start cutting it up, making a
paddle,
a paddle and a core out of it, and that's what developed. Now you can go to the core manufacturers, and it's almost like you're walking into a donut shop, and you're like, I want that shape, that shape, that shape, this shape, this shape, and then what are we going to add to it? What type of texture? And then the companies add a little bit of fine tuning with some of their secret ingredients within the paddle.
That one too hot off of the Selkirk paddle of Frazier.
As Bock's walking back to the baseline, he's like, oh, I got away with one there.
Still 8-2-2 for the top seeds. Trying to avoid being snake bitten like so many of the top seeds in this tournament. That's ridiculous. That is the most casual reset.
But that's
looking
how
like
you
I'm
have
not
to be,
affected.
though. That's how you have to be. Imagine that you're trying to catch a ball, right? If we're going to the softball, baseball reference,
Right.
if you're trying to catch a ball and you're lunging at it, stabbing at it, whatever, you're not going to catch it.
Right.
You let it come to the hand, and it takes the power off, and that's the reset.
I would have thought you were a catcher almost instead of a pitcher.
Oh my gosh, I was a two-way guy for like 25 years.
Oh, and Bock trying to go down that
Yeah.
line. But like Chad said, you watch, though, too, and it's not about just defense. We go back to that replay. Frazier blocks two. Johnson steps in and counters the third, right? So it's turning that defense into offense.
Bock can't make the pickup side out as Frazier and Johnson closing in on taking game number 1.
8-2-1. Point.
Nice hit there.
Well, just a little too much swing there for Bock. He's trying to roll that quickly, but the downside is when you try to rush the finish to get the shot off, you end up cutting the swing short.
Oh,
What
no,
a
no,
combination. Frazier's able to put that away.
no. Well, Jason Bock, not sure what the thought process was there because Dylan Frazier is sitting on
All
that forehand.
over
I mean,
it.
his forehand was sitting there.
Well, he sold it too. He took a little jab step to the middle, thought that made Bock think the line was open. Hey, there it was.
Got one.
He had the paddle up, so I figured it out now. What he does is he holds the paddle up and then he just
Drops
bends the
down.
knees. Yeah.
10-2-2.
Still game point for Johnson and Frazier. Able to convert on the second try as the top seeds take game 1 of this first of 2 men's semifinal. They take it 11-2. We will be right back with game 2 action here on Championship Court at the Chase APP Miami Pickleball Open.
This is what you're waiting for. I'm ready to ride. I think I'm ready tonight. This is what you're waiting for. I think I'm ready to ride.
No, since I've been using Leo Rubber, I've had way less problem on my AT band and hips. It has been really a game changer for me, so I highly recommend it to everyone.
That's what makes it so different. The whole idea about balanced compression, it improves your blood flow, reduces your fatigue. At the end of the day, you feel so much better.
I feel comfortable, I feel supported, I feel like I can train harder, train longer, recover faster, and feel supported while I'm playing. And that's so crucial for me, especially in singles when I'm trying to play against the youngest. I'm not the youngest out there, but I try and play against the youngest.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious. With better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best.
The BioFreeze USA Pickleball National Championships. November 10th through the 17th in Mesa, Arizona. Designed for pickleball's best. Amateurs and pros alike. 14 tournaments. 14 opportunities. Find your golden ticket tournament Earn your title.
A reminder to check out pickleballsuperstore.com via the QR code on the screen to get your instant discount. Jack Monroe taking some time to take in the action, get a little food. You saw Gabe Tardio get some food during timeouts yesterday in the bronze medal match.
Jack over there talking to Linda Long.
Jack also part of that Atlantic Cup alongside Spencer Lanier, won the men's doubles last night alongside Richard Liverneys Jr. Mixed doubles action coming up on Sunday, Chad? In the Atlantic Cup?
Yeah.
Yep.
Starting at 8 a.m. We got to win all three. We are behind 4-2 right now.
I'm glad that you have to be here for the 8 a.m. start, not me.
Well, I like
That's a good put away from Bock.
Yeah, and I like that speed up there. It was a little bit more elevated. Was it potentially going to go long? Maybe, but it's in a position where Frazier can't get out of the way of it.
I'm just playing a little more aggressive right now. And again, it's like we talked about in that last quarterfinal matchup on the women's side, where we would have liked to see Butler and Lopez just go after it. Like, play aggressive. You got nothing to lose. Right now, it's exactly what Bock and Lanier are doing.
1-0-1. Second serve.
Second serve coming.
1-0-2.
Again,
coming at you.
We talk about center mass right there. It's across the shoulders, just below the throat, unfortunately.
Hey,
but right
personal.
there, Frazier can't get out of the way, so he has to put a paddle on it, and then it ends up popping up.
Nothing personal, just business.
So is that.
That's just so calm right there. Ball pops up off the tape to Johnson. Adjusts from fastball to off speed and just slaps a single through the middle.
This time Frazier makes the adjustment where as soon as he sees Bock go with that bigger take back, he slides. Now he's getting it outside, getting on top of it.
A couple of big drives from Frazier, and we're tied at 2.
Well, that's the thing, too, is once Dylan Frazier sees it more and a couple more times, he's going to be on it. He's learning as he's playing, right? So it's making that adjustment in game.
That one sails long. Another point for the top seed. It's not often that you think about guys like Frazier and top seeds who say still learning as they're playing when they're already this good.
No.
Oh,
it's not learning the game.
You mean
It's
learning
the tendencies.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like give the man his due, Dom.
Yeah, no.
All right.
And that's where we see in the top players and the highest seeds, their adjustments, their in-game adjustments are much faster than the others.
Bock and Lanier taking a timeout as they are trailing by 2 here in game number 2. Earlier this week, the APP announced the 2024 Next Gen National Team comprised of 7 boys and 6 girls. You take a look at them. They're part of this Next Gen National Team. Chad, you can speak more about this. Is the Atlantic Cup that has been going on as a side tournament in this tournament. There was a lot of loud action going on yesterday after we got done with the mixed doubles bracket.
There is. The atmosphere for the Atlantic Cup has been phenomenal. So Team Europe chose 3 of their top men and 3 of their top ladies from across Europe. We put our top three next gen from either side into it. So, and then we see Jack Monroe there talking with Linda Long, part of our Atlantic Cup team. So it's a good experience for our next gen players, the up and coming pros, to get exposure to, not only high level play like they are here on the APP, but different play. And I can say right now, Team Europe owns this in singles.
I did stay and watch that match that Richard Liverneys Jr. ended up losing, but that game 2 was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where I think pickleball across Europe is a little bit deeper within the tennis realm and the tennis players coming across. So that's where the strength is in singles. But, definitely we're a little bit stronger in the doubles side of it as far as the comparisons between the two teams right now.
Hands battle there goes the way of Bock and Lanier.
Well, Bock just sitting in the middle right there with that big forehand. Great read by him. Oh, no.
Oh, Bock
same guy, and it is out of here.
That was off the chase board.
Castellanos makes it 4-0 with a deep drive.
8 rows deep. Straight center field.
Did you drop a Castellanos?
I did.
Just because it's close to my last name? Wow.
You wish you could hit like that. That was ambitious.
No, I like the thought process for it, but he flicked it straight up.
It's too high.
Instead of getting a little bit more roll. So that ball right there, especially in the men's sides, we see effective offensive lobs that are maybe a foot above the opponent's head with some pace on it because the guys get back so well. In the women's side, it's a much higher, deeper lob.
6-2-1 in favor of Johnson and Frazier after they took game 1 11-2. Frazier can't make the third.
Yeah, Bock and Lanier started off really hot this game, going up 2-0 quick. And then now Frazier and Johnson kind of dialed things back in, reading the speed ups better.
Just like Chad was talking about, the in-game adjustments.
Oh, Johnson changed his mind because it looked like he wanted to pull the trigger, and then he didn't and backed off it. It was already too late.
2-6-1.
There it is. That's the learning as the game goes on, Dorian. That's for you.
Plus,
but again, it's reading that, right, and learning the tendencies.
I'm also learning as we go on.
Plus the ability there to get on the ball and know if a counter is coming back from low to high, that ball's going to go out.
Lanier able to put it away. Lanier and Bock's road to the semifinals. They took down Grayson Golden and Steven Madonia in their first match, 7-8, before beating Klinger and Andre Mick. I actually watched a part of that. I thought that was going to be a competitive match. It was 9-7. And then absolutely steamrolled Stefano Verne and Brendan Long. I think this is the surprise for all of us watching that happened on the court right next to us. 3-2 in that match. That was absolutely not a competition.
Wow. Dylan Frazier had Lanier leaning like he was going to pull the trigger. Didn't.
And then got him with the off speed.
Yeah. He had Lanier leaning backward on his heels.
7-3-1. What a forehand roll from Frazier. You're right, Chad. Too good.
Well, it's he's kept the same motion with all of the forehand dinks, right? That's out there in front. The forehand dink just bumps it back. This time just accelerates with the wrist, rolls it through the court nicely.
And then Frazier goes right back through the middle with the backhand.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, on the drive right there, and then the crash after. They're just coming on their toes, leaning forward, putting all that pressure on. Oh. Nice ball from Lanier, getting that ball down at the feet there of Dylan Frazier.
Second serve coming as Johnson and Frazier just 2 points away from advancing into Championship Sunday.
Side out.
Uncharacteristic miss there for Johnson.
3-9-1.
3-9-1.
Second serve.
His third.
Trying to get back in right here. That's like the death of you. If you miss thirds, you have to get your thirds in. Just get it over at least. Make them hit another ball. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
It's almost
Killer concept.
But that's
like you know what you're talking about.
And that's a good spot right there with Frazier uncoiling out of the stack as well. He's hitting that one on the run.
Lanier able to win the hands battle.
Yeah, Johnson just broke the wrist a little too much there and flicked down on top of it.
That's a good combo from Frazier because after he speeds this up, he slides to the middle to get on top of that last one, but just punches it a little too hard, a little too long.
Little run here for Lanier and Bock in game number 2. Oh,
You're on your heels moving back away from the net. That's just probably
not the spot.
it's probably the worst time to be speeding up when you're falling away like that. Oh,
nice sell.
That's a nice roll from Lanier. Bock and Lanier able to get 3 back. Need to play some defense.
Yeah, and Lanier sold this one with the body. It's the setup and the body movement, like he's going to take that cross court and then just slides it down the line.
Point. And match point coming up for Frazier and Johnson as Lanier and Bock take a timeout, trailing at 10-6-2 here in game number 2.
Yeah, nice little run here, though, from Bock and Lanier to get back in it. But again, you get that momentum going. You got to keep it going, especially against a team like Frazier and Johnson.
That's something that doesn't help falling down 9-3 and then having to dig out of a significant hole.
It's definitely a bit of a momentum killer when you get down that early. However, if you have the right mindset there and you start creeping back in, then that momentum shift comes back. And we saw it yesterday in mixed doubles with Frazier and Black.
We did.
They were down 9-5, won 11-9, or 12-10, sorry,
yeah.
and then
carried it in
and took in an 8-0 lead in the game 2. Ended up winning that one 11-1. So it was an 18-2 run, but it's pickleball. Anything can happen right now.
That run was part of a semifinal win for Frazier and Tyra Black over Will Howes and Millie Rain in the first of 2 mixed doubles semifinals.
Point. Game.
Goes long, and the match goes to the top seeds. Dylan Frazier and J.W. Johnson are advancing into Championship Sunday. They take it 11-2, 11-6. We will hear from them when we come back here at the Chase APP Miami Pickleball Open.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped. Suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
The APP is sponsored by SI Tickets, official ticketing partner of the APP Tour. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. And Aura Organic, plant-based nutrition.
A late run by Bock and Lanier wasn't enough to hold off the 1 seed, Dylan Frazier and J.W. Johnson, moving through to Championship Sunday. And look at that hand exchange right there from all 4 players. Certainly weren't lacking any power in this one, but again, it's Johnson and Frazier just too strong. And they'll be moving on. We have Dominic Catalano, who's courtside with our Franklin post-match interview.
All right, Dylan, I'll start with you. You guys are students of the game. You're constantly learning, constantly taking things in, especially in game. It seemed like they got you on a couple balls in the middle, and then you figured it out. What is it like when you're playing with JW and you guys figuring things out as you go?
Yeah, this is a new team for both of us. I think we hadn't played that team before, and they were tricky, especially Jason with the forehand speed up. He could kind of go any direction with it, so it was just a matter of seeing him do it a couple times and then seeing if you could pick up on the tell or the giveaway and then make adjustments from there. I've always got J-Dub to cover my side. He covers a pretty large area of the court, so it makes it a little easier too.
And then JW, playing against Spencer, another young up-and-coming player. He's got such good reach. What does that do for you as far as timing goes? He's taking so many out of the air right there.
Yeah, I had to play a little more safe because he was able to reach a lot and flick a lot and create a lot throughout the air. So I had to either hit a little bit short or hit more cross court.
All right, well, congratulations, boys. Moving on to the finals. Well, congratulations. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, our second semifinal here on Championship Court at the Chase APP Miami Pickleball Open.